This podcast is not for the overly sensitive, the terminally optimistic, or anyone who thinks dating in your 50s is a whimsical romantic comedy. Listener discretion is advised.
More Straight Talk with Trent on Girls Can Tell.
I got a voicemail this week and I want you to hear it because it got me thinking about something a lot of people are doing in their dating lives.
Hey Trent, it's Kay from Indianapolis. I love the show. I've been listening for about 8 months now, and I finally decided to leave a voicemail. I'm 52, divorced, and have been on the dating apps for about 2 years, and I keep doing something I can't seem to stop. I tell myself I'll get serious about dating once I hit a goal. Right now, it's weight. I've lost some, but I want to lose more before I really put myself out there. Before that, it was my living situation. Before that, it was my job. There's always something. But honestly, I think insecurity is what's really underneath it. I just don't know how to stop doing it. I'm wondering if this is just me or if other people are doing this too.
Kay, you're absolutely not alone. And I want to spend this episode responding to what you said, because I think you already know more about what's happening than you're giving yourself credit for. You put the most important part right at the end. You can see it happening, and you still can't stop it. That line is the whole thing. That's the pattern I want to talk about. Before we get into it, I wanted to connect this to something we talked about recently. A while ago, I did an episode about waiting until you're ready to date after a breakup, about the mistake of jumping back in before you've processed what happened. This is related, but it's different. That was about recovering after something ends. This one is about the specific, seemingly reasonable, always slightly out of reach condition people set for themselves before they fully commit to dating again. Let's talk about how this works. Kay mentioned 3 different conditions in her message: weight, apartment, and job. And she said it herself, there's always something. And Kay is not unique in this at all. You set a goal and tell yourself, once I fix this, then I'll really show up. You work toward it and start making progress. You lose some weight, move to a better place, change jobs, or get the promotion. And right around the time you're almost there, something else shows up. Now, you're looking at the income gap between you and the people you're matching with, or the lifestyle differences, everyone's posting vacation photos from places you can't currently afford, or the education gap, or how put together somebody seems. Suddenly, you're thinking, if I show up now, I'm going to look like the person who doesn't measure up. And just like that, the goal you were almost at doesn't feel like enough anymore. Because even if you hit it, there's still another thing. And that other thing sounds legitimate, right? That's just being realistic and honest about where you stand. Except most of the time, it's not. It's the goalpost moving. And it keeps moving as long as the thing driving it stays in place. So, the goalpost was never really about the weight, the apartment, job, or any of the external things you're using to measure readiness. It was always about, do I believe I'm worth choosing right now as I am? Underneath almost every "I'll date when" statement is a belief about your current value as a partner, and is almost always some version of the same thing. I'm not enough yet. Not enough physically, financially, professionally, emotionally. Not enough something, whatever thing feels most urgent or most stressful at this time in your life. And because of that belief, the idea of letting somebody really see you and then asking for them to find you worthwhile feels impossible. So waiting feels safer. And in a way, it is safer. You never really put yourself out there. You never really get rejected. You stay in this comfortable in-between space where you're technically available, but not really trying. Your profile exists, the apps are on your phone, you text a little and swipe here and there, but you're not actually letting things progress. So the results you're getting aren't really a reflection of your worth. They're just a reflection of the fact that you haven't really started yet. The real attempt is always coming later, after the condition is met. That's a really effective way to protect yourself from finding out if something you're afraid of might be true. It's also a really effective way to spend years alone while telling yourself you're just not quite ready yet. Kay said she thinks she already knows what's underneath it. Insecurity. She's right. She does know. Seeing it is where fixing it has to start. The appearance hang-up is the most common and most emotional. There's legitimacy in waiting to feel good in your own skin before dating. Confidence is attractive. Taking care of yourself matters. Feeling strong, healthy, or just more like yourself affects how you carry your body and your energy. But then there's where the number on the scale becomes a barometer about whether you deserve to be chosen at all, where the belief is, I'm not currently acceptable. I'm not yet worth someone's serious interest. I need to earn the right to be seen by becoming something different from what I am right now. And that belief isn't fixed by hitting some goal. The goal was never the problem. The belief was. The belief that you're not enough doesn't disappear when you lose the weight. It just finds the next thing. The income gap, the lifestyle difference, that your living room furniture doesn't match, you don't own a nice enough home, or that your ex moved on before you did. It always finds something, because its job is to protect you from being fully seen and possibly not chosen. Kay says she's already lost the weight. She's already done the thing that she told herself she needed to, and she's still not ready. The goal was never to be the thing that made you feel ready. The feeling was there before the goal existed, and it will still be there after you hit it, unless you address the belief itself. I think this might be the most useful idea in this entire episode. The condition keeps moving on purpose. The part of you that invents these conditions is a protective system. Its entire function is to keep you away from the risk of full exposure, and a condition that gets met no longer protects you, so you find a new one. You lose the weight, and suddenly the income gap is the real issue. You close the income gap, and now the lifestyle difference becomes the thing. You address the lifestyle piece, and now it's about your emotional availability, or your past, or your living situation, or how long you've been single. There's always new available material. Life does not arrive complete where everything is sorted, nothing is in progress, and you're finally, fully, undeniably ready. That state doesn't exist. There's always going to be some gap between where you are and where you want to be, some trait you're still developing, and part of your story that feels unresolved. If your condition for dating is all of that has to be resolved first, the condition will never be met. Which means the question is ready actually what I'm waiting for, or am I waiting to feel safe? So I want to look at this from the other side. If someone's choosing you after you've hit every condition, lost the weight, sorted the finances, closed the lifestyle gap, upgraded the apartment, polished your wardrobe, done all the therapy, whatever, what did they choose? They chose the improved version, the finished product you've been working on. The you that finally met your own standards. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like it's fake, it's still you. But if someone chooses you now, in the middle of all of it, before it resolved, while you're still working on whatever you're working on, that person is choosing the actual you, the you that exists today, with the body you're in right now, the bank account you actually have, the career you're in, the character flaws you're still working on. And there's a very good argument that being chosen like that is more meaningful. Someone who likes you before you've met your own conditions is a lot less likely to disappear when the next condition to be met comes up. And there will be a next one. There always is. The person who chooses you then already knows they're signing up for a work in progress. There are probably a lot of people in your life right now, or on the apps, or at work, or in your social circles, or even somebody you've been texting, who would choose you as you currently are. You, right now, over the future version. And the condition you've set means they're not getting a chance to. You decided in advance that you aren't worth it yet. The timing is wrong, and that you will be better positioned for this later. A later that might never happen. The people who are around you now might not be there later. The you that finally hits the condition might look around and immediately find a new reason you're still not quite right. That's how this shit works. I'm not implying that someone should abandon what they're working on. Self-improvement is important, and you want to be your best self in dating. But be honest about whether the condition you've set is about being ready, or if it's just about being safe. Ready is that you've done what you genuinely needed to. You've grieved the breakup, stabilized your life enough that you can make room for another person, and addressed issues that would really hurt somebody if you brought them into something new. Safe is you found a very legitimate sounding reason to avoid the risk of being rejected as you currently are. That is self-protection that's very good at sounding like self-awareness. Kay said she can see it happening and still can't stop it. Most people don't see it at all. They just keep moving the goalpost and say they're working on themselves. But you don't have to be finished to be worth choosing. Just take one small, concrete step this week that breaks the pattern. Update your profile and turn the apps back on. Say yes to one coffee. Reply to one person you've been half ignoring because you thought you needed to hit the next goal first. One step. You can keep working on the conditions at the same time. The rest gets figured out along the way by everyone, including the people who look like they have it all sorted out. They don't. Nobody does. Do you really think the ones who are finding a real connection are the ones who finally got everything handled? No, they're the ones who started anyway, even while they were still a work in progress, just like we all are.